that really was a moment for me that shifted everything. Change your physiology to change your psychology. Buffalo see a storm and they run towards it and they run through it.
You talk about that. Like, I love the idea of influencing yourself.
They're like the self-fulfilling prophecy that they have for themselves. As long as you just keep pushing forward, you can do something about it.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 10 of the Molding You podcast. I'm honored to be joined by Dakota Frazier, amazing young entrepreneur and leader who I met in this podcast studio, along with Chet Tart from my last episode. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be here, honored, excited to get to know you more and, see what we can do together.
Yeah, and I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit about your story, which you told me you basically started at the food stamp level of life.
Yeah.
And now you're coaching executives on leadership. And we were just talking about leadership and how you got into it. So could you tell that story about how that started?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, let me take you back a little bit. It was a spring day in Michigan, and it was hot outside, and I was working outside in the yard, and I was like all sweaty and just kind of like gross. I was probably 15 or something like that. Or no, I was 14. And I went upstairs. I went inside and went upstairs to take a shower because I was like just so sweaty and gross. I turn on the water and for the shower, and then nothing comes out. No water. And then, like, confused, turn it back off, I guess, even though it wasn't coming out. I run downstairs, put on my clothes, run downstairs and say, like, what's going on, Mom? Like, what happened? And she's like, oh, we're behind on the water bill. I'm like, what do you mean? We're behind on the water bill. She's like, I haven't been paying it for like 6 months. And I was like, I didn't really even understand what she, like, okay, well, is that why the water's off, kind of thing. She's like, yeah, we owe like $500 or $600 to the city, and the city shut our water off. And I just remember thinking, like, what in the world? Like, I knew we were poor, but I didn't know we were like having it like that. And I just, I immediately was like, okay, we got to do something about this. So I asked my mom, what can we do? She's like, I have to wait another 2 weeks before I can pay the water bill, but I can't pay the whole thing because I can barely afford to pay for all the other stuff we need. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go get a job then. And she's like, you can't get a job. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I got to pay this thing. We need water. She's like, you can't get a job or they'll take away our food stamps. She was like worried that if I saw income from the government, they would like take away our food stamps. So I was just like, well, I don't care. Like, I got to do something, right? So I literally changed my address, even though I was technically like living. I don't know if I can get in trouble for this, but I was technically living at home, and I changed my address to my older brother's house, who was already out, like an adult and stuff. And I was too young to work legally without getting permission from the principal or something like that. So I had to get a signed thing saying I could work. Then I got a job as a janitor at a gym, and my first paycheck went straight to the water bill, the whole thing, and paid it off. And the reason I bring that up is that really was a moment for me that shifted everything. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff that will seem like you can't do anything about it, but as long as you just keep pushing forward, you can do something about it. You can change your situation no matter what it is. So that mindset was kind of ingrained in me, even at a younger age with different things, but especially then and there. And then, and I was telling you a little bit, for one Christmas, I got a present from someone it was a book, and it was a John Maxwell book, a leadership book. And like, he's a guy that lives up here on Palm Beach Island, but he is the leading expert on leadership. Like, books didn't exist about leadership before he started writing them. It was all management books. And I started reading his book and I just started eating it up. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, I love this stuff. And I didn't even know this whole like professional personal development stuff existed almost at the time. And years later, I kept reading his different books. He's written like over 100 books. And I was working, actually, this is where I want to talk to you about some stuff, is I was working as a project manager at a mold remediation company. And I used to hire guys, I think, that do what you do a lot as a project manager. So we would like, someone would have mold or something or water damage, they would dry it out. And then after everything was all done, and we would come in, have a project to remediate the mold, have a tester come out and test the quality of the air. And then I would rebuild the whole thing, basically, like work with the owner and rebuild it. And while I was doing that, I found a book. I was reading a John Maxwell book, and in the back it said, you could get certified as a coach, a speaker, and a trainer through his content. And I was like, okay. So I decided after I saw that, that's what I'm going to do. And then kind of there's a lot more after that, but yeah. So kind of crazy that you do what you do, and I have experience in that. I did that for like a couple of years. I probably, while I was there, remediated at least 100 or 150 houses, something like that, and rebuilt them.
That's nice. It's
pretty crazy.
It's a good industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like mold was never going to be a part of my story, and then it became a part of my story. Pretty unexpected how like a passion came out of that. And when I started this podcast, like it's not really about mold. It's called Molding You.
Yeah.
Because of how mold kind of helped me discover the entrepreneurial side of me.
Wow. That's cool.
But like every episode almost has had some hint of mold. Even people that you wouldn't expect, like everybody's dealing with mold or has dealt with
everywhere.
it. I mean, everyone I tell, they're
Literally.
like, oh yeah, I have mold. And like literally my apartment yesterday, I got a knock on my door. Oh, your toilet's leaking into your downstairs neighbor. So I'm like, let me go check it out. There's mold all over their ceiling.
Oh no.
And then my downstairs neighbor, she's like, yeah, I've been sick. I have rashes. I'm like, man,
gosh.
Mold is hardcore.
Yeah.
Like people don't know, but for the listeners who may not know my story, I started off with kind of your basic mold testing, which is like you said, really the air quality thing.
Sure.
Which is a super misleading thing. Like testing just the air
So,
is like super misleading. And that's been screwing people over for a long time.
Yeah.
So then I kind of got into mold assessment, and unexpectedly, I pretty much went into business for myself. And thankfully with social media and just, my previous experience, it took off and it's been pretty lucrative and successful. Like
totally.
If you can help people, you can make money, like in any industry.
100%.
But this is a specific industry where like it's so screwed up that, they need a lot of help.
Yeah.
And the remediation side of it is great.
Totally.
But so yeah, the podcast is more mentorship, motivation, manifestation. And I love the leadership stuff and how so you're an executive coach. So you're helping business level, CEO level people get to the next level.
Yeah.
And so when I think about that, I think like a lot of it is almost like therapy kind of, or like it's psychological. Like you're telling them like, just discipline yourself. Is that kind of what it is? Like it's more of not how to make billions, but it's like how to shift your mindset.
Yeah. It's a lot of mindset. And, I can't remember who said it. I think one of those philosophers, I'm trying to think of who it was, but basically the idea that you don't have to teach anyone anything. They already know it.
Right.
That's basically the idea of what I do when I coach someone one-on-one is I don't really tell people what to do. And a real coach, you know where the word coach came from? Have you ever heard of that kind of story behind it?
No, I know I had one in baseball when I was a kid. But
Yeah. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
No. So in I think it was the 70s, there was no coaches for sports teams. There were just managers. Did you know that? And,
no.
Like a sports manager, they would call him a sports manager instead of a sports coach. And so it's kind of interesting. There's a book called The Inner Game of Tennis that was written. And it's literally this guy who is researching these famous, like these professional tennis players. And he hired other professional tennis players to train them, right? And they noticed there was not much change in these tennis players. And then he hired professional ski instructors to train these tennis players, professional tennis players. Ski instructors had no idea anything about tennis. They were just good at skiing. So what they did, they started asking them open-ended, non-judgmental questions like, well, because they had no idea what they were talking about. And the tennis players didn't know that these guys were not professional tennis players. So that's kind of cool, interesting. And so he's like, so what was like the difference between your hand placement there and there? And then the tennis player would think about it. Well, I don't know. I never thought about that. Starts to think about it. Oh my gosh. And they start to notice that these tennis players are just like crushing it all of a sudden. And more than they were before, right? Way more than the guys that were getting coached by these professional tennis players who think they know everything. So it's fascinating. So that book kind of changed everything. Then there's an inner game of golf, and then this guy started doing coaching for businesses, and he's like, this is the same stuff that works for athletes work for businesses. And they're like, oh my gosh, they're unlocking things they never thought they could unlock. And it's literally just sitting there asking open-ended, non-judgmental, forward-thinking questions. Because like the difference between therapy and coaching is therapy is a lot of past, a lot of tools to combat the past of beliefs and things like that. Coaching, we reference it and we address that stuff, but most of it is, hey, what do you want to get to, and what are we doing right now to do that? And then how can I hold you accountable to do that, if that makes sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's always interesting to me how sports plays into all this. Like for me, it's like basketball was kind of like my passion, just playing, like it started just shooting on my own every day in college.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know why. I was just like, I want to get good at something. Like I wasn't really good at much in college. And, I think it's interesting how like some of the NBA players or whatnot, like, they're like, oh, I crush it in the NFL. I crush it in the MLB. Like it doesn't have to be, it's because they're like, they know that they have the mindset.
Yeah.
And I like how you said, like, these skiers came in, like, they didn't know anything about tennis, but it's good to get another perspective from someone who's not even related to your industry.
100%.
Like I had a guy, I thought I had a successful business, and I had a guy, friend of my mom's who was a headhunter and stuff, but he's like, so let's see your business plan. I'm like, I don't have a business plan. And it's just like those little things, I think, that that outside perspective is so important. And even just watching film of yourself playing tennis, like a lot of guys don't even do that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me. So what would you say are some of the big mindset changes that people have to make?
Yeah. A lot of times, most entrepreneurs I've found, they are scattered. They're all over the place. They have a million ideas a minute, and they halfway implement like a few of them, and that's about it. So I've found that their mindset is creative, which is good, and why they are there in the first place, right? That's why they're entrepreneurs, is because they're willing to take risks. They're willing to be creative. They think outside the box. They're not going to work at a corporation and take a paycheck, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's just, everybody's different, right? I don't think everybody should be an entrepreneur. Everybody. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm definitely an entrepreneur, and I can't help but be an entrepreneur. But yeah, I would say it's that they're creative and they're not organized. Like I was just talking with a guy recently who has a concierge doctor practice, and genius, loves his patients, cares about it. Like amazing guy, amazing at what he does, super good at what he does, not good at business, just scattered, like not charging enough, not scheduling time for breathing, not, like stuff like that, just not literally breathing, but like taking a break, and it's just very typical. I've found so many, it's because they love what they do. They're like almost addicted to it. And it's almost like you mentioned sports. A lot of successful business people view business as a game. It's just a game that is fun, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be stressful, obviously, but it's also always something that they become addicted to. And so I found that it's really like people pay me a lot of money to like force them to stay focused, because they know if they stay focused on one or two of those ideas that are genius ideas, they're going to make a lot of money. They're going to be very successful and they're going to have a lot of fun, but they need somebody to like slap them into shape a little bit. And that's kind of what I do, you know, in a very loving and chill
Mm-hmm.
way where I can get a little intense too in their face if I need to, but it's really holding them accountable to what they said they wanted to do. And I kind of twist it. I you know how you get the knife in there and you kind of just twist it. I'm like, well, so why is it so important to you right now? Why don't you want to do all these other millions of things? Why is this thing? Okay. If you do that, what's going to happen? If you don't do that, what's going to happen? What if you don't do that 10 years from now? What's going to happen? Because that's how successful people think in decades, right? And so, yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like you're selling people their own ideas.
Exactly.
Like you're just encouraging them, and the accountability is so important.
Yeah.
And holding other people accountable is like just checking in, right? Like, hey, did you make progress on this goal? And
Yep. We have, I essentially will do twice a month, 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 at the most, depending on what they need and stuff and what package they go with. But it's twice a month. And then every other, in between those, the other weeks, it's a 10-minute phone call. And depending on how serious they are about their goals, I'll even hold them accountable in a way where they have to pick out an amount of money that they don't like losing, and then pick a nonprofit they don't agree with. And if they don't accomplish the thing, or at least have done everything they can to accomplish the thing, then they got to donate that amount of money to that nonprofit.
yeah, wow. It's like a punishment.
I mean,
it's
you know, and then also what rewards can we have? So like, okay, you did the thing that you said you were going to do. Okay, what's the thing that would make you really like just something you love doing for the sake of doing it? Maybe it's going golfing, or maybe it's like going, whatever, paintballing. I don't know, whatever you want to do, just reward yourself for doing it. Maybe it's just working out a little bit more. Some people just love the gym. So, but yeah, man, it's really fun, rewarding. And one of the things that I'm always fascinated by is how I start out every session with, or just about every session with, after we've gone through like, how you doing, that kind of stuff, building rapport. What's the thing you want to focus on today? If you walked out of here after we met today, what do you need to get to the next level? What is it? And then almost every time they say it's this one thing. And then by the end of it, it's something totally different, because this is why it's so important to have a coach. I have a coach too. It's like, you think this is the thing that you need to solve, but there's like 10 layers deeper than that you actually need to fix first and work on first before you can get to that. And then, but this thing that's 10 layers deeper has been making you procrastinate about a lot of stuff. So it's really fascinating. You fix one thing and then all the stuff, it's like domino effect of like, it just keeps getting better and better and better. So really cool. And it's always amazing to see the light bulb moment of like, that's what I needed. Like, and they're always like, wow, how did you do that? I'm like, I didn't do anything. You did it. Like, I mean, I did some stuff, but I'm certified in this, but it was you. You had it all in you. You just needed someone to get it out of you. And so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of exciting stuff, man.
Yeah, I enjoy it. There's something about helping other people level up that's like so fulfilling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm curious, like, what was I know you said there was the moment when you didn't have the water.
Yeah.
But when did you kind of go from employee to kind of on your own?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you hold yourself accountable? Like, was it just natural to you to do that?
Yeah. So no, it's not natural. I always think of, so to answer your first question, how I made the transition. When I was working at that mold remediation company, I was it was a lot of work. I loved it. I actually had a lot of fun doing it as a project manager. It's like running your own business. It's very entrepreneurial. I mean, like you budget, you hire, you fire, you like all that stuff. I had crews, I had everything. So it fit my personality really well. It did not necessarily fit where I wanted my life to be. And the level of work for the level of reward was just not, I just knew I could make a lot more money doing a lot better stuff that I enjoy. But I learned a lot of great stuff, and I'm so thankful I worked there. And it's a great company I worked with. They're very different in the industry where they actually do take care of people. They're not trying to just get as much money as they can. They're like literally they're real close with the insurance providers so that they can get a fair price for everything for the owner, the insurance company, and the company, right? But I told the CEO basically like early on, I was like, hey, I'm planning on starting a business and doing this. I'm working on a certification and I want to leave you better than I found you. But I'm going to do this thing. And he was like super supportive, and he actually got me connected with some other great people afterwards. But that was kind of the leap. And then it was 2020, I think it was during COVID or something like that. Or no, it was a little bit before COVID. I started it. And then, and it was the first post I made. It was kind of crazy. It was, I'm a believer in God. So I was like, it's a God thing. It was like, I posted something on Instagram. I don't even use Instagram anymore, but I posted something on Instagram and I got a client like immediately, a first post as a coach. I was like, everybody, I just quit my job. I'm starting my coaching business. And someone just reached out to me immediately. It was crazy. And then, things were going well, and just loved it ever since. And you said you had another question after how I made the leap. What was it?
Keeping yourself accountable.
That's right. That is something I struggle with hardcore, and which is what attracts me to coaching so much too, is I've found I'm a lot more driven than most people internally than I've ever met, but I need accountability just like everybody else. And like, if you think about wanting to be like a great person in sports, right? You can't do it alone. You just can't. You need a team. And so many people start their business off thinking they can do it on their own. And sometimes they do, but it's so much slower and more arduous than it needs to be, like just harder than it needs to be. If they just got some team members around them, they could go a lot faster, and a lot further, because you can burn out really easy on your own. So I got people around me. I had mentors, coaches. I asked friends for help. I'm still doing that today, where I find ways to get people involved in a way through influence, really. Like I'm influencing them to do something as long as it's beneficial to them. So whatever they want, I try to help them out with it, right? And you get a lot further. And then once you're making enough money to hire team members as fast as you can. That's what I believe. But yeah, holding myself accountable. Atomic Habits is one of the best books I've ever read and has changed my life in a lot of ways. Have you read that book? You know what I'm talking about?
I have the book. Someone gifted me it. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, gotta read it. And
it's all about habits, right? And
it's just the things that I love about it is like, you already have habits. Everybody does. So you get up in the morning and you probably go pee. Like everybody has that habit, or a lot of people have that habit, right? And so it's already a habit. Use that to your advantage. So the next thing, it's called a habit stack. Stack on top of the habit you already have. What's the next thing? So my goal was to wake up every morning and stay awake after, I think it was like 6 a.m. or 6 a.m. was my first one I did. And my habit stack was, after I go pee, I put on my clothes and I go for a walk immediately. And I put on my clothes, my shoes. That's the next thing. And then after I put on my clothes, my shoes, I go on a walk. So the rules it has to be super easy. It has to be able to be done in like 2 minutes or less. So you create that habit stack. And now that I'm already on a walk, I'm awake and I'm not going to go back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? Like, don't make the walk the habit though. You're not going to get it done. Don't make going to the gym the habit. Make the habit, put on your gym clothes, and then and then your next thing is get in the car, and then you're definitely going to go to the gym, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so yeah, it's little things to like help yourself get forward. And that book changed my life, and it's going to be in my book a lot. Yeah. That book, those principles.
Interesting. Yeah. I noticed a lot, like when I'm like, if I can just get my laptop open and do 1 minute of work,
Mm-hmm.
that'll turn into an hour of work.
Yes.
But like, I don't want to sit and do an hour of work.
Yeah.
But if I can just say, okay, open the laptop, sit down, go to your favorite cafe, whatever it is.
Right.
And I like that, those small habits, like put the shoes on, then you have no choice. You're going to walk.
You're going, bro. Like you're going.
Yeah. I love that. And I feel like a lot of accountability is involving someone else, right? Because it's hard to keep yourself accountable.
Yeah.
But if you have someone else keeping you accountable,
Mm-hmm.
then you start to feel like the shame, or I don't want to disappoint them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for yourself, if you don't have a coach or an accountability partner,
Mm-hmm.
writing it down, or like saying it out loud, hey, I'm going to go to the gym today, or saying it in your head, or writing it down. So when you go look at it the next day, you can be like, did I do what I said I was going to do or not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of my life, I was held back by not doing what I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
Or what I knew, like you said, we have it in us. Like we know what we're supposed to do.
You know it.
But not doing that, and like not just lying to others, but like lying to yourself. It's
So
like such
happens a lot.
and it's such a hurtful thing to do to yourself, and you don't realize that it ties you up in knots.
Yeah.
And
it's so true.
You talked about something really important, like the punishment and reward.
Yeah.
And I don't think people do that to themselves enough.
No.
Like punishing yourself is important, right? Or at least holding yourself accountable.
Yeah.
But also rewarding yourself.
Need to.
Like I work hard too. Like I think I outwork a lot of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was out of necessity. Like my family needed help, and I needed help. But taking that time to actually reward yourself.
Yeah.
Or like you said, breathing time, and you were kidding, but I actually think breathing
is powerful. Yeah.
So important.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I've even noticed, like I'll be on a vacation, I'll be at the beach, and like, I'm still thinking about work. I'm not breathing. I'm like, breathing is so important. Yeah. I think for sure. I was even thinking about going to this Wim Hof breathing thing in like Miami, where that guy, Wim Hof,
no,
he's like the breather.
Okay. He's the guy about breathing. Okay.
Yeah. And he, I think he sat in like freezing water for like 40 minutes or something, or like something unfathomable.
Yeah.
Just through breathing, you're pumping the blood. He
convinced himself that he was warm, and then he was warm.
And you're literally pumping the blood. Like you think your lungs, your heart is a pump, but really your lungs are a pump. Your heart is actually a valve, which is, I guess gets interesting, but your lungs are what is pumping everything through your heart, more or less, if I'm not mistaken, on the medical side.
That's cool though.
But,
yeah, I actually I'm about to have our first child. We're due January 6th. He's coming up. It's our first. He's a boy.
Congratulations!
Super excited. And we bought this online course about like what to know, like what to do, all this stuff. How am I going to help my wife get through that? And I mean, they spent probably, I don't know, maybe a third of the whole course talking about breathing and your mindset. More than that probably. And fascinating stuff, man. Like we'll never go through that, right? But she, it's amazing the mindset and how your birth goes based off of your mindset. It's like fascinating. And all this stuff. So yeah, really good stuff. But the breathing can make things go along so much easier and better. She's like, pain, you're going to experience pain, but you don't have to suffer. And there's a difference. Right. And I think that's true for everything we do. We're not going to give birth, but when women do that, but when we're going through anything, we will experience pain, but we don't have to suffer through it if we do the right things for our mindset to get to the right side, to the other side of it,
Yeah, it's kind of, I saw something today. It's like there's the pain of discipline or there's the pain of like regret. Yeah. Or like the suffering.
Choose your pain.
Like, I don't necessarily want to work every day on these reports and, legal cases or whatever it is. And it's a bit painful. Like, oh, my friends are, having fun and whatnot. And here I am sitting in the same cafe every day. Like, but that pain is better than, not having the money. Like,
100%.
I heard a
man.
quote the other day that was like, it's really hard when you have money, but it's like impossible when you don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you want hard or just like impossible? Like,
Yeah.
you got to pick your pain. But I think breathing is so important to like, people don't realize you have to control the chemistry of your body.
Yep.
With like the chemicals that come out of your brain.
Yep.
And a lot of that is like, I notice when fear or anxiety kind of comes up, it's because of my breathing slowing down or speeding up. So I've actually, one of the most valuable things I think I have accomplished is like choosing when to do my next inhale and exhale. Like that's, people don't really think about that, but like you can control your state of mind pretty well.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then the mindset thing, like you have to set your mind, and you can only do that if the chemicals are in the right place. So I think it's so important to like figure out how to get past that fear and anxiety. And like you said with the kids, I mean, the mom, I've been learning a lot about all that, and like everything the mom does is impactful to the kid.
Oh, it's amazing.
But it's actually, now we're finding out that it's the dad that has a really big impact.
Oh yeah. Like psychologically.
Psychologically and even scientifically.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate this is, but they say the man actually builds the placenta with his sperm.
Wow.
And it's actually like, if you really want to be like, you got to be super clean for like 3 months before you even conceive, because the man actually plays a huge part.
Wow.
And I think
fascinating.
Keeping the woman safe and calm and
low and
so
important.
The back rubs and
all
you know,
that stuff is so important, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I think a lot of men don't think about that stuff.
No.
And, you know, I'm not a father yet.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys don't think about a lot of stuff, unfortunately.
Just don't think,
you know? Yeah. I mean, you know, was it Albert Einstein? He said, thinking is hard work. That's why so few people do it. It's true.
It is. It's
true. It's hard work.
I find myself thinking all day, and I'm like, wow, this took a lot out of me. Like, and make something out of it. Don't just think and then do nothing. Like, spend your whole life thinking.
Yeah.
You have to act. Speaking of that, I saw an interesting quote that I like, which was like, there's a difference between wanting to be a father. What was it? A father and having a wife. No, I think I'm botching it. Wanting to be a husband and a father is different from wanting to have a wife and a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like a husband and a father is a leadership role.
Yes.
I think that's where it all starts. Like for men, like if you're thinking about getting into business or even getting a promotion, like you have to lead yourself.
Yep. 100%, man.
And I think that's a good segue into, we were talking about your book.
Yeah.
Which is, let me see if I can remember, influence you, influence others, and then influence the world.
Yep. That's the 3 levels. Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Like, I love the idea of influencing yourself.
Yeah. As you know, when I was writing that section, I was like, dude, I got to write a whole book about this, you know, because there's so much more I want to put in it. But the 3 levels of influence that I put together is, how do you influence yourself? How do you influence others? How do you influence the world or a culture or a business, whatever you want to call it? But I call it the world as an, you know, but the first level, influence yourself, that's the foundation. Like you can't do those other things effectively without influencing yourself well and being the right person that you need to be. So the 3 things I talk about in that are your mindset, your inputs, your thoughts, and your actions. Those are the 3 things that influence you the most. Your inputs I talk about a lot because your inputs often determine your outputs. So what are you surrounding yourself with that will get results? And you will get results either way, whether you like the results or not. Like our minds, if you're surrounding yourself with let's say you're watching a bunch of media and it's just negative stuff, or it's just like someone, you know, like dropping the F-bomb every second, guess what you're going to do? You're going to drop the F-bomb a lot, right? Whatever, people like it, don't care about it, but that's what will happen. Your inputs will determine your outputs. Your friends, you know, show me your friends, I'll show you your future, 100%. So who are you surrounding yourself with that is it the people you want to be like? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So you need to get out of that room and get into another room. And keep going and keep going and keep going, right? Like you think about all these successful people, you know, I think you probably heard of Alex Hormozy, that guy. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's all over. Right?
I started a school community called Old School.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Actually, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I haven't taken off with yet, but Hormozy's
but
amazing.
it will.
Yeah,
No, amazing guy. And you know what he did? He forced himself his way into people that were bigger than him. He paid a lot of money to be in rooms that were people that were bigger than him until he was in the biggest rooms there are, you know, like, and most successful people, that's what they do. They get around people that are bigger than themselves. If you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Got to get out. And so I've had to do that many times in my life. Not that I'm a smart guy or whatever. I'm not like amazing. I just know that when I see the same patterns over and over again, and I already understand them, and I get them, and they're not going the way I want them to go, I get out of that room. And sometimes it seems like I'm cold, but it's something you have to do sometimes. You just have to.
You're hot. You're the opposite.
Yeah.
You're on fire.
Yeah. And then, so the inputs, so your media inputs, your people inputs, and then your environment inputs. Your environment is super important, right? Like if you have trash around you all the time, you're going to think you're trash. You're going to think it's normal. If you have a clean, organized environment, you're a clean, organized person. You know, your environment affects the way your mind thinks. Mm-hmm. And so that's inputs.
Not to mention mold, and, you know, you can't work. I mean, I'm in the mold industry, but you can't work in a moldy place, and
can't live in a moldy place.
Whatever kind of pollution it is in the air, things like that.
Man.
And the diet.
Oh, don't get me started on
probably
that.
The most important thing, right? Like,
yeah.
People eat McDonald's and then go to have, you know, a good day at work. Like,
yeah.
Good luck.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be on the toilet.
America is the wealthiest nation, and we're one of the unhealthiest nations, you know? And it's pretty crazy what we put in our bodies. I could talk about that for hours.
Yeah. but continue. So inputs.
Yeah, inputs. So then your thoughts. Mm-hmm. So your thoughts are your beliefs, perceptions, and intentions. Those are the three sections I break it down into. So your beliefs dictate a lot, right? Like if you believe, you know, one of my favorite quotes, you probably heard it, Henry Ford, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Mm-hmm. Like you're just right. And it's so true, man. The beliefs start kind of everything. And I think a lot of your beliefs come from your inputs originally.
Sure.
Your environment, the media you're listening to, the people you're around, but
Mom,
your beliefs,
Dad, grandma, grandpa.
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes we have to take our beliefs and challenge them and say, okay, well, is this belief serving me? Yes or no? If it is, let's dig deeper and believe it more. And if it's not, how are we going to get rid of this thing? You know, so my book talks a little bit about that. And then, you know, your perceptions. So you and I could experience like the same thing and have totally different perceptions of it. Mm-hmm. Like we could go through something super hard and you would think that was terrible. And I would think that was awesome or whatever, or maybe the other way around. Our perceptions, you know, you ever heard people say perception is reality? Like especially in business, right? Like, well, I didn't mean it that way. Well, the customer perceived it that way, and perception is reality to them, right? Like we create our own realities that are not necessarily real, not really the truth with our perceptions, and they come from our beliefs a lot of times. So how, assessing yourself on your perceptions and thinking like the last 10 things that were hard for you, test your perception on it. Like, well, okay, how could I see this in a positive way? Because almost everything you do, you could probably see it a positive way, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's two kids out in a storm, brothers, right? They're out in this big storm, and they're running to the barn trying to help with their the cattle and everything, and then boom, this big lightning bolt strikes almost 5 feet away from them. They both jump back. And they both run into the barn, close the door. One brother says, I'm terrified. Like, that was horrible. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
Never going outside again.
Never going outside again. The other brother's like, that was awesome. Like, wow. Like, I'm so glad we didn't get killed, but that was so cool that we saw lightning strike in front of us. And so, our perceptions can change everything. One of my favorite stories about perception is cows and buffalo. Have you ever heard the story about cows and buffaloes?
No.
So like, in the plains of the United States, these big storms come through, and
I think
you've
the
heard of this.
buffalo are facing into the storm.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So cows and buffalo during a storm, they do two opposite things. One, the cows run away from the storm, and the cows, when they run away, they're slow, and the storm kind of rolls, and just kind of like they're running away, and the storm is over them the whole time. So they're literally in the storm longer than they ever had to be. The buffalo, they're experiencing the most amount of pain. They're suffering because of it, right? Buffalo see a storm and they run towards it and they run through it. So they're only in the storm for maybe a minute, where these cows are in there for an hour or whatever. And we have choices, right? So like, what perception is your reality is the question. And then finally intentions, right? So we have beliefs, perceptions, and then finally intentions. So our intentions are, what are we going to do? What are we focusing on? Because what we focus on is what we become. Have you ever heard of Earl Nightingale?
Sounds familiar.
You got to check this out if you haven't checked it. It's called The Strangest Secret in the World. And it's just like I think it's an hour long, basically like a podcast before podcasts were a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was done in, 1920 something. Earl Nightingale, wow. This guy's awesome. He talks about the strangest secret in the world. And you have to listen. His voice is so deep. He's like, the strangest secret in the world. And like, this is Earl Nightingale and all this. It's so good. You got to check it out. But he basically, the strangest secret is what we focus on is what we become. And our intentions, what we intend to do, are going to be what we see in the world. Like, I know some people that believe that they're never going to, make money or whatever, or they're never gonna stop being poor, right? And because they see the whole world that way, they have that victim mindset of like, well, of course this thing happened to me, and this is gonna happen. I know this is gonna happen. Boom, it happens, right? They're like the self-fulfilling prophecy that they have for themselves. And the people that believe, I know that there's more than enough out there for me, and that I'm gonna go. I know that I have to work hard to get it, but I'm going to get it, and they couldn't be more different. It's just fascinating. People can grow up in the same household and be totally different, so our intentions are like, what am I intending on doing? And then, and then the last part of influencing yourself is action. So you talked about how you can change your mindset by what you do. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the parts is like change your physiology to change your psychology. Because a lot of times we think we got to fix this up here first, but not always is that the case. Like when you smile, you release dopamine immediately. Like it just happens. Like you feel better. Even if you're feeling bad, you smile, you actually feel better.
Or even fake laughter. Yeah. Your body doesn't really know the difference.
It doesn't.
And it can actually help if you're down.
You feel better, literally. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite quotes from Dale Carnegie, he said, act as if you are. Act as if you are. And then you'll be, I always add that part at the end. Then you'll be. But act as if you are. So I remember one of my favorite professors in school, he's like, I always give it my all every time I'm up teaching people. Every time. Even if I just had the worst news I ever had, before I open the door, I tell myself, give it your all. And this guy, I mean, it was amazing. It was a math class, I think. It was like I don't remember what it was, but in my university, but he gave it his all every time. I don't even like math, but this guy, I loved the class because he gave it his all and he made it fun and interesting. And I did great in that class because I liked him and he did a great job. But act as if you are, and then you'll be, man. So there's a lot of times where when I'm going to go speak on stage, I remember last year I had to do a keynote with like 500 people and my dad died like, I think 3 weeks before that. And it was rough. I was not doing good. Yeah. Thank you. It was rough. That was probably the hardest year of my life. It was 2024. And I had to go speak in front of 500 people and get them all jazzed up and going and all this stuff at this conference. And I told myself, act as if you are. And I gave it my all. I had a lot of fun. And I was, struggling, but I had people I could talk to afterwards, but I had to do what I had to do. I had this planned way in advance. So act as if you are, then you'll be. And so, yeah, change your physiology to change your psychology. A lot of times you'd be surprised. Get up and do something. Like if you're like sitting on the couch and you're struggling, like get up, man, and do anything and you'll feel better. Go do the dishes. Go wipe the floorboards now. Whatever you got to do it now. Literally, it could be anything and you'll feel better immediately. So yeah, that's how you influence yourself. And that's really what the book is about, is those three things for influencing yourself.
And I think a lot of people feel that it's like manifestation and believing things that aren't true yet. Like they think it's kind of crazy, hokey stuff. But it's like, when you walk around with your head down all day, like other people see that.
Yep.
When you walk around with your head up
Yep.
and you're like, I'm going to succeed, like I'm going to be successful, even if you're not yet, but that rubs off on other people.
Yeah.
And you never know, you might meet the millionaire in the elevator, or you might meet your
100%.
future business partner at
100%.
the gym, or you meet, your wife, your future wife at the cafe, whatever it is. But you have to act as if you are. And like, I think happiness is like one of those things. Like if you want to be happy, then act happy. And then you are kind of happy. Like, it's easier than making $1 million is just being happy. And I think that's where a lot of it starts.
Yeah.
But that belief is important, because if you believe you can't be successful, then you definitely won't be.
Right.
Unless someone literally walks up and hands you success. And who's going to do that if you're just not a believer?
Yep.
Believe in yourself.
If you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. It's just so true. One of the things I like to do is, how does a depressed person look? Like, what are their shoulders doing? What would you say? Forward or back?
Forward.
Yeah, forward.
Slouched.
Where are they looking?
They look depressed.
Yeah, what are their eyes doing? Eye contact, or looking on the floor, right? They're looking on the floor. They're breathing. Is it deep or is it shallow? It's probably a little more shallow, right? How about when they speak? Are they projecting, or are they pretty hard to hear sometimes? Right? So you can physically see it, and it physically changes their mindset, right? Okay, confident person, what do they do with their shoulders? They're back. They're taking deep breaths. They're projecting with their voice. They're making eye contact. They have a firm handshake. It's not like a loose salmon or whatever. It is. These things make a difference. So like if you're listening to the podcast right now, like try that out. Take a deep breath. Put your shoulders back. Make some eye contact. Get excited. Put a smile on your face, because it will change the way you feel, and the way you feel is going to change the way you act.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff.
I like how you said before, like, and it relates, like, people have habits and they think, well, these are my habits. Like, it's not going to change. But you can change habits.
100%.
And it starts with those little things. But like standing up straight. Like, I remember someone asked me once, like, how do you stand up straight? I'm like, what do you mean? Just stand up straight. And I'm sure it's more natural for some people than others.
Sure.
But you got to train yourself and train your body. Your back needs that strength and that stability, and go to the gym and, look up breathing techniques, look up Wim Hof. And I remember I used to have to like force myself to smile more. Like in all my pictures, like I would never, I would smile, but like just these little things, like you practice. Like positivity is a practice. Gratitude is a 100%. Practice. Mindfulness, breathing. And what does that mean, practice? It means you do it.
You do it
until you're good at it. And like, you didn't like math before, and now after you found that professor, you probably
I enjoy it. Yeah.
liked
it. I still talk about stuff from that class today.
Yeah.
And it's when someone's passionate about something, you get it too. It's caught.
Yeah.
It's
and even like I love to talk about pursuing your passion. And if you're really passionate, even if you had the worst imaginable thing, like your father passing away. I mean, I can't. I saw my father in the hospital not long ago, and that changed everything for me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he's okay, and
that's good.
And I think me changing helped him even be better in a lot of ways. But when you really have that passion, like it doesn't matter what happens, like you're still gonna go out, give it your all, and like that's what I love about like my mold industry, because there's sick people who have been misled, and getting to help families and like show them what's in their house and like helping them heal. That's just a passion of mine.
Yeah.
So it's really important like to pursue your passion. And like,
dude, 100%.
I think it finds you in mysterious ways. That's why I was telling you, like, the Molding You podcast is because mold kind of molded me. And like, I didn't know I could even run a business.
Yeah.
Like, and it came about in an unexpected way.
Yeah.
But I learned that like, if you are passionate and you just do it every day and like make the videos and you said social media worked for you, like it's worked for me too.
Oh
and
yeah.
I think it's such a, right now is the easiest time to pursue your passion.
Yeah.
And there's always someone that can teach you whatever you're doing. There's someone else that's done it that can teach you.
So true, man.
And so the second part is influencing others. Is that mostly just once you can influence yourself, can you automatically influence others? No,
not really. It's a skill. It's a skill. Some people are natural, with influencing other people, but it's pretty rare. You think that extroverts are really good at influencing people, and usually they're actually quite bad at it. And introverts think that they can't influence people, and they're better than they think. And I think there's some important things about influencing people. So I worked with Dale Carnegie for almost 5 years, and I trained a lot of people about influence, whether it's sales, customer service, leadership, public speaking, all this stuff, right? It's all the same thing. It's all influence. And to really get good at influence, there's some really important things you got to do. The first most important thing you have to do is get out of your head. So it's kind of confusing because the first part of my book is all about fixing the stuff up here and your actions, but influencing other people is not about you. It's about the other person. It's about the audience. So if you're speaking in front of a group of people, it's not about you. It's about how you're going to make that audience feel, how you're going to make that audience move. What do you want them to do? If you speak in front of a group of people get nervous. It's natural. And they mess up when they start to think of, oh, how did I sound? Oh, how am I looking? Oh, did I say that wrong? Oh, and then I forget what to say. And there's just awkward stuff going on, right? And people are like, you don't want to watch that, right? But when you're focused on the audience, like, oh, man, I'm going to make that person laugh right now. I'm going to make them feel a certain way because that's going to help them get to the next thing that they need to get to. That's what influence is about. And you have to learn that no one cares about what you have to say. Because nobody does. Nobody gets up in the morning. When I go out and do trainings, I'm like, by show of hands, how many of you woke up this morning hoping that your trainer was going to have a good breakfast and got a full night's sleep and brought up?
Give a crap.
Nobody cares, right?
Yeah.
Nobody cares about me. Sorry. What they do care about is how I can help them. And if you can get that mindset when you're influencing people, it will change your life. And so how do you help them? You have to be interested in them. If you can't be interested in somebody, you can't really help them because you don't know what you're helping them with, right? So yeah, get interested. It's not about you. Be interested in other people and let them talk, and then figure out how I can serve, right? But if you're the rare, because there's not a lot of people out in the world like this, but if you can be the rare individual that is there to serve others, that's the person that's going to be successful. And you will be, influence can open doors that money can never open. I've been able to do some cool stuff, and I'm not, a billionaire or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But it's because of influence. I've seen people do things that are just unimaginable with showing some care to somebody else. It's just unbelievable. So, influencing people, I could talk a lot about too, but it's like those few things. If you do those well, you're going to be ahead of 95% of people in the world. Yeah. I think so.
And Dale Carnegie, you've met him? You've worked directly with him, or he's one of the leaders of influencing.
Yeah.
His book was How to Win
Friends and Influence People. Yeah. So he's not alive anymore, but I have met his daughter. The company's still in the family and everything is family owned. And I've met, it's a global company. So I've met the CEO multiple times and everything. So it's a great company. If you haven't taken a Dale Carnegie course, I highly recommend it. Warren Buffett took it when he was in his 20s, and he said it changed his life, and he wouldn't be where he is without it. And he said, it's just because I learned how to communicate with people I didn't know how to before. and it helped me. He said he used to throw up before he spoke in front of everybody every single time. And he's like, if I couldn't get over that, I would never be where I am today. And he literally has a master's and a bachelor's degree. And the only thing on his wall is his Dale Carnegie certificate. So I think everybody in the world should take it because it makes them better. And then that's one of the other things that I didn't talk about, and I'm not going to put in my book, but I need to mention it somehow, maybe if later on. But like, one of the best ways to influence yourself is to invest in yourself, because the best investment you can make, Warren Buffett will say this, the best investment you can make is in yourself. Get yourself better.
I say that all the time. I thought I made that up, but
yeah,
I probably saw it online.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about, because like people are like, well, there's crypto, there's real estate, there's buying, selling businesses, but it's like, okay, maybe you'll 10x with crypto, maybe you'll 100x.
Yeah, sure.
But what is the benefit of learning how to communicate?
Unlimited.
Or learning how to influence other people?
Unlimited.
Yeah. So it's like it could million-x, 10 million-x.
Oh,
and
easy.
It's like you keep doing it.
Yep.
And people don't think you can learn how to communicate or learn how to be a good person, learn how to smile, but like you can.
It's all practice.
And it's funny, like, a course could change your life, or a mentor, or even a video, like a YouTube video.
Yes.
And we're in an era now where like everyone's selling courses.
Sure.
And I think it's getting a little, people are like, I'm not
It's a
going to
little
buy a course.
overdone. Yeah.
But I think you'll be surprised, like if you actually did buy like any, if you want to take a course on how to cook banana bread,
Yeah.
then like you probably will get pretty good at it.
You're going to have a banging banana bread.
Or maybe you'll see, well, this course sucks.
Yeah.
Why don't I go look up how to something that makes more sense?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
it doesn't have to be your mentor, your coach, your course doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
But just taking that step in that direction,
Yeah.
making a small investment and like actually buying something or paying a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a difference when you pay versus when it's free.
100%. I've coached people that someone else paid for it, and then I've coached people that have paid for it. Worlds of difference.
Oh yeah.
Because the skin is in the game, and you have to do it. You have to invest. Like if I would have never invested in that certification I did, it was a lot of money. I think it was like half of all of my money back then. It was a lot, lots of thousands of dollars. And I was just out of college. I didn't have a lot of money. So, but if I wouldn't have done that, I would never be where I am today. And paying for things changes your mindset, and it's a powerful, powerful thing. So yeah, 100% pay for stuff to get better. Like, have you ever heard of the 4 quadrants of time? Like quadrant 1 is like important, urgent. And then quadrant 2 is like important, not urgent. And then quadrant 3 is not important, urgent. And then quadrant 4 is not important, not urgent. That's like going on social media. Quadrant 1 is like, I got to get this stuff done because someone paid me a lot of money to get this done for them, and it's got to get done tomorrow. So that's, quadrant 2 is like investing in yourself, taking some time to think, taking some time to build systems, taking some time to get better. And you'd be surprised at how little time people spend in that, because quadrant 1, all the important urgent stuff, there's so much more you can get done if you spend a little bit of time in quadrant 2, just a little bit. I just say like 80-20, 80-20 principle. Spend 80% of your time doing the important stuff that you need to do right away, but then take 20% of your time, and that's a lot of time, and plan and organize and invest in yourself, get better, because you will get 10 times more done in that urgent importance area if you spend just a little bit of time planning and thinking and getting better,
Yeah. Speaking of books, one of my favorites, 10X is Easier Than 2X.
Yeah,
which
great book.
That's the one that changed my life, I feel. That's what I first read when I started my business.
Awesome.
And from my first solo job ever, like I made more money than like 2 previous paychecks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is like valuing your time. And, it's a business mindset book, not just business, it's life. But
yeah, it's really great.
I think everyone that's a must read for me.
Must read, yeah.
But one of the important things they talk about is like, you must take time off.
You have to.
Like, and I've learned that, like, I'll put myself in the hospital from just work.
Yep.
And then like, sure, I have money in the bank, but now I'm like in the hospital.
Yeah.
It's like, you need your health. Health is really wealth. I mean, no matter how many billions you make, I mean, it's nice, but you got to be happy and healthy.
Yeah. There's so many people that as like, you know, I sacrifice my health to get my wealth, and then I spend all my wealth to fix my health.
Yeah.
That's so many people
It's
live
like now
that
I'm
way.
at square one.
Not very good.
And I'm 80 years old with like
with all the
healthy
problems.
with no money.
Like, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's interesting. And, you know, I think, you know, Mr. Beast, he's like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
biggest YouTuber ever.
Yeah.
And he made a video, which I think is interesting, where he's like, I literally sacrificed my mental health to get here. And I always think about that. Like, I mean, I think he's okay now.
Sure.
Who knows?
I don't know.
But it's an interesting idea of maybe not sacrificing your mental health, but sacrificing your old mentality for a new mentality. And I think for him, it seems like it paid off. And he's actually in the 10X is easier than 2X book.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
there's a part about Mr. Beast.
I do remember that book. Yeah,
which brings me to another interesting point of, he said like if you put, I think 10% more effort into like a video, for example, like just the thumbnail, 10% more effort.
Yeah,
it doesn't translate to 10% more revenue. It's 100 times or 1,000 times more. So it's like the little things really add up and compound. And like,
dude, I always, when I do trainings with people or coaching, I always ask them, what's the difference between an NBA player and the best NBA players of all time? What's the difference? One of them, they make, you know, tens of millions of dollars a year. Some of them make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And what's the difference? You know, well, some of them are taller, shorter, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're all really good. They're already in the NBA. They're all like the best of the world, but there's some that are just better. And it's not much better. It's just a few, like maybe 10% better. But
and more
that
risk,
10% goes into hundreds of times more revenue, more opportunities. And the difference is what they do day in and day out. Like when all the team is celebrating because they won the game, Steph Curry is still practicing his 3-pointers every time. Funeral, he's practicing his 3-pointers. Birthday party, practicing his 3-pointers. That's a different mindset, you know? And so day in, day out, habits, all that stuff. The little details, people are actually willing to pay a lot of money for. A lot more. Like you think of a $40,000 car and a $400,000 car, they both do the same exact thing. But the little details, people are willing to pay a lot more for. So yeah, and we can be that. We can change our value by working on our little details and getting a little bit better every step of the way. So I 100% like go to the conference that you think you should go to, buy the training, buy the coaching, do whatever you got to do to get to the next level, because it will get you there if you believe it will. I mean, it's just, and then just push. You know, so it's amazing, man.
And when you invest in yourself, like it's hard to lose, right? Like
you can't lose.
There's no way to, I mean, you could see it as, oh, this course wasted money, but if you take it the right way as a learning opportunity,
you can't lose.
You can't.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, like set your goals so high that they seem impossible.
Yep.
I think that's in the 10X book too.
It is, yeah.
Which I really love that book. I got to reread it. But
well, have you read The Science of Scaling? That's like, it's the same author.
Ben Hardy.
Yeah, same author.
I'm looking at that book right now.
Just read that. It's basically 10X. Yeah. It's the same book almost, but it's just with him. And so check it out. Yeah, it's a great book. But it's just like a little bit more, I mean, I like 10X is better than 2X too. So whatever one you want.
Yeah. No, they're all great. And even if you read 10 books that are similar, it's like,
oh yeah, you'll get
you're spending your time working on yourself and reading. And reading to me is almost like a meditation. Like you're like, I'm going to put this time aside, and like, even if this chapter sucks, like I'm just going to like go through the motions.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking about business, and then, you know, it's productive.
It's an input.
Yeah.
It's another input in the media category in my book. It's like books changed my life. I would not be where I am without books.
Yeah. And it's interesting because like our generation doesn't know what a book is.
Yeah.
Or like,
they're like, how do you
the younger generations especially.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not the constant scroll happy, sad, scared. Like it's, it's you're staying on a certain path that you choose.
Yep.
And I notice it. Like if I watch a video of a cat getting, you know, someone kicks a cat.
Yeah.
Like you feel it in your body. Like the change, like you feel sadness. You feel like, so you have to control the input very much.
It's so important, man. People don't realize how important it is.
But the concept of the goals being so high, like I have a buddy who's a college basketball player.
Yep.
And he's like, I work so hard every day. And he does. But I'm like, work harder. like kind of like the Kobe Kanye video, if you've seen it. But I'm like, you should be training to be the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And he might not ever be the best in the world, but imagine if you trained like that.
Right.
Like, I'm going to see, how can I beat Steph Curry?
Yeah.
How can I beat LeBron James?
Right.
And if you do, maybe you'll be the third best in the world, but that's pretty good, right?
That's pretty dang good.
Or like, but if you say, okay, I'm just going to train to play in China overseas, which is fine.
Sure.
But that's the level that you might get to, or you might be lower than that. So you want to aim high, and I think I'll get him on my pod. I'm not trying to call you out, but he's amazing. And he actually, my friend Arvin, who I think he'll get on the pod, like he shoots every day.
Yeah,
in the court. And he started a Michael Jackson fan page called Moonwalk Legacy, and he has about 2 million followers. It's the biggest Michael Jackson fan page in the world.
Wow, that's so fun. That's so interesting.
And it was just because he like had a passion for it, and he just started posting it. And he says, when I do something, I do it 100%.
All the way.
And now it's the biggest one in the world. He knows Michael Jackson's lawyer, and and like the family follows him, and 2 million followers. It's
amazing.
But it's really like having that passion and then doing it every day, multiple times a day. And then you get the confidence. It becomes, it's like anything. The more you do it, and like, even if you suck at it and you fail at it, like go fail, go get the rejection, go take a loss.
Yes.
Because you can only do so many.
100%.
Until you win.
Or
you're like, you know what? Maybe this isn't my passion.
Yeah.
But it's like talking about basketball, like, I don't remember if it was like maybe Kobe or one of them like had the most missed shots
out of anyone.
Yeah. And it's like, you're not going to get to the most points if you don't have the most misses. Like
100%.
The guys who are on the bench, they probably don't shoot as much. They're scared to miss, or, it's just because you're on the bench doesn't mean you can't end up in the starting five. We could talk basketball for days, but look at Austin Reeves, basketball player who's on the bench, and now he's in the MVP contention because he just goes hard.
It's the Wayne Gretzky quote, right? Like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And you look at, I always say, like, successful people are like, I want to be successful. I want to be successful. I'm like, well, then start doing something and don't be good at it. Be bad at it at first, and then you'll get good at it as long as you learn from it, right? Because like, everybody looks at these successful people on this mountaintop kind of thing, right? And they're like, wow, I want to be up there. That's amazing. And they look at it and they don't realize that they're standing on all this failure, all this garbage. It's a pile of garbage. It's not a mountain. It's a pile of garbage until they got to this high point where people are all looking up. That's what success really is. Like, I always, when someone I'm working with, they're about to give a presentation in front of a lot of people, or if they're going to do a sales pitch and I'm helping them with their sales or whatever it is, I always tell them, nobody was born good at speaking. Not one person.
I couldn't even speak when I was born.
Me neither, man. It's amazing. And look at us now. Look at that, right? But how did we do that? We kept going. We kept trying. We kept practicing. How do you want to learn another language? You go immerse yourself and do it until you're sufficient. And then if you really want to get better, you maybe hire somebody and all that stuff. But you got to do it. There's nothing that can replace that. So yeah, 100%, man. That's how you do it.
Yeah. And I hate that we're probably coming short on time in a little bit. But so the last thing that you talked about, maybe for a few minutes, was influencing the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So influencing others is different from influencing the world.
Yeah. It's multiplication. So it's influencing people that are influencing people, the average person. So a lot of people say the average person influences about 10,000 people in their life. The research looks more like 80,000 people in your life on average.
Every time you walk past someone on the street, right?
Yeah.
It's like you either smile, make eye contact, or
Yeah. It's amazing. Like direct influence, right? So, but now multiplying influence is something that's totally different, right? And you have to think about the people that have changed the world. Think about them, like Martin Luther King, Steve Jobs. These people, they had a compelling vision and they had a goal that was very clear. They had values on how they were going to do that, like rules almost, that everybody was going to follow to get there. And they multiplied people. They didn't do everything themselves. They found, you've probably read Who Not How. It's from the same.
I haven't, but I know they
the whole
mention
idea.
it.
Got to read that book. Amazing book. But you find a who for whatever you want to do, right? Like, so, and that person is going to be in charge of it and make it happen, right? You can't do everything yourself. Like Henry Ford did not invent the single block engine. He hired engineers to do it, and none of them, he had the belief that he could do it. No, the best engineers in the world said that it's impossible. And he's like, it's your job to make it happen. So just do it, And then eventually they did it. Same with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs wanted to have this thing where you could put it in your pocket and you could have 1,000 songs on it and it could fit in your pocket, an iPod. Everybody said it's impossible because you need this fan to cool it or whatever. And he's like, figure out a way to not do it with the fan. And they're like, it's impossible. He's like, I don't care. Do it. That's your job. And he had this vision that was just, he knew that had to happen, right? And so people that influence the world, they have to have a clear vision of what they want to accomplish. They have to have values that they follow, like ways they do things. Like maybe they believe in themselves. They want to be the most innovative. They want to whatever. Like for Martin Luther King, it was a peaceful protest. It was nonviolent, like that kind of thing. There was rules behind it, how we do things. And it kind of creates this culture that can change the world. Mm-hmm. You find your vision, your values, and then you find the people that will make it happen. The multiplication, right. And that's how you change the world. It sounds simple, but it's a lot of work, and you got to do the other two things first. So you have to understand how to manage this thing in here, manage your actions, manage and influence other people, so that you can influence the world.
Right.
And it's a lot of work, but it's always worth it when the people are doing it in the right way. People have done it in the wrong way too, but it's just deciding to have something worth going after and then just go after it with everything, with these structures in place.
Yeah.
Can't be stopped.
Yeah. And like a successful leader, it's not a one-man army. It's someone who can bring people together and manage them and lead them and motivate them. Like that's the people who made success.
That's right.
And such a great, episode here, but I like to leave people with like a mentorship mantra. And I think it's interesting how like a lot of people come from the food stamp level and then, and like, that's almost more beneficial starting down there.
Oh yeah. I'm thankful.
Yeah.
It was brutal, but I'm thankful. I mean, it sucked when I was a kid. I was embarrassed all the time having people over my house. I didn't want them to see my house because it was all like terrible, whatever. But
that embarrassment fueled you.
Oh man.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So what's a good mantra that you would say maybe to someone who's kind of at rock bottom or just, poor or just poor mindset where they're like, this is just how life is. But how do you mentor someone into escaping that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure no one has ever said, like, I looked it up and I think this is like an original thing that I said, but nothing's really original anyways. But your dreams come true by what you do. Your dreams come true by what you do. So
I'm stealing that.
Every day you can steal. It's fine. TM, trademark, Dakota Frazier. No,
okay. We got it on.
Yeah, no. Restricted. No, I didn't pay for it yet. But no, your dreams come true by what you do. And whatever it is you want to do, if you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. So believe that you can. And even if there's a lot of negative thought patterns that say you can't, figure out a way to combat those. Think you can, and then go out and do it. Because a lot of people think success is going to like fall in their lap somehow, or an opportunity is going to come to them. And if the opportunity comes, you're probably not prepared. Because when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. You have to be ready. So be ready, keep doing it, and you're going to get to where you want to go. That's just how it works.
Yeah, that's great. And I've said it on other episodes, but like the two letters DO are so important.
Come on.
Like Nike says, just do it.
Yeah.
But really just do something, do anything, do something good. Like put yourself in that position to, if you're not ready yet, then, do something that helps you get ready. Practice, fail, rejection. Like that helps you get ready.
Right.
And like, you're never going to be ready. Like
never.
You just say, okay, I'm going to take on this. I might fail, but I'm going to do it. And it's okay to fail 10, 20, 30 times.
100%.
I mean, I'm sure you know successful people that they've, like you said, they're standing on a mountain of garbage and now they're in the limelight.
Yep. That's what they did.
But Dakota, thank you so much for joining me, man. This is
Jonathan, it was awesome.
Golden information for people.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I'm really excited for what you're doing. And I think you have such an incredible market niche and you're going to go really far. I mean, you've already gone amazing with where you are right now. So
means a lot
for you, man.
And your book is coming out. Is that?
Yeah, that's a great question. The manuscript, it's almost done. So I think I should be done maybe next month. And then I'm hoping I don't know how long editing is going to take, but I'm going to try to go quick and try to get it done by probably the middle of 2026. And then, yeah, man, just go on speaking tours and help people get better.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
We'll have to have another conversation again because we didn't have enough time. But thank you so much again. I appreciate it.
That's my pleasure, bro. Cool. Have a good one.